Yep, I get to talk about my favorite monster from the Monster Hunter series, Kirin. Yay. Ooh. Let's get some. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Ryan Kelly, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever rant video on Kirin. Now, in my top 10 Elder Dragons video, I talked about how much I hated Kirin, but I didn't explain why. The reason for this was because I ran out of time. Well, this entire video is dedicated to my hate for Kirin. So let's find out why I hate the Kirin so much. When I first saw this Elder Dragon, I thought it was bad and that the fight was going to be pretty fun. But the further I got into the fight, the more I began to realize that this is one of the most annoying fights in the game. Why do I think it's annoying? Well, for starters, I use a slow hammer, and the Kirin is a small and fast monster. A lot of you are probably thinking, just use a different weapon, you dumbass. Well, even if I use a new weapon, it still won't make a difference. No matter what weapon I use, I still have a hard time keeping up with it. I mean, it moves all over the place and rarely stops. Also, another thing that's a pain in the ass is its ass. I mean, its butt area is super hard. Pretty much the only way to not bounce off of it is to have Mind's Eye. If you don't have that, then have fun bouncing off its butt for days. Now you're probably thinking, okay, don't hit its butt then. Try moving to its head. Well, that's easier said than done, because whenever you're in front of its face, you'll most likely get hit with one of its thunder attacks. So you're going to be stuck with the butt area. Whenever you're hitting its butt, it will do a donkey kick and launch you backwards. This gets beyond annoying. Just to recap, this fight consists of a ton of bouncing weapons, fast movement and attacks, and an annoying donkey kick that you have to deal with while you're behind it because you have nowhere else to hit it. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. So, you finally kill the Kirin. You go back to town and see if you can make its weapons. You look at them and see that they're actually really good. But if you want to make them, you're going to need Kirin horns. Now, this doesn't appear to be a bad thing at first. Look at the Kirin. How many horns do you see on it? You see one f***ing horn. Yeah, you only can get one horn per fight. So, if you want to make its dual blades, then good luck because you need 4 of those f***ers. Fortunately, its head is a lot easier to hit whenever you knock it to the ground because it will stay still. Thank you, Kirin. At least you're not an annoying Elder Dragon that squirms its head around all the time and it's so difficult to break its head because it keeps moving it all the time. Whoo! That was a little side tangent. I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyway, if you have an armor set with Part Breaker, then the horn won't be too bad to get. Okay, so that's everything I gotta say about the Kirin. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need to add to this video. Oh, wait a second. There's Oroshi Kirin, the even more annoying variant to Kirin. The Oroshi Kirin is, in my opinion, even worse than the Kirin. Instead of using Thunderbolts as his long-range attack, it will use Ice Shards. And it is so brutal. I mean, the range on this attack is way worse than the range on Kirin's attacks. On the Monster Hunter Wiki, it says that the Oroshi Kirin is even more aggressive than its counterpart. What? The Kirin is already an aggressive as hell Elder Dragon, so how can Oroshi Kirin be even more aggressive? I hate the Oroshi Kirin. I mean, the fight's pretty much the exact same thing as a Kirin fight, except with even more annoying attacks. Capcom, you had another chance to redeem Kirin. Why did you make it even worse with this variant? It's not even a fun fight. I will admit it looks really cool, but ice attacks that are super annoying. Oh, and not even to mention that dumb event quest in high rank where you have to fight Oroshi Kirin and the regular Kirin at the same time. That is a ridiculously annoying and cheap mission. Oh, I don't even want to talk about that. These monsters give Elder Dragons a bad name. I mean, they're not even dragons. Now, I know I might sound like, oh, I'm complaining about this because it's a hard fight. No, I'm complaining about this because it's an extremely cheap fight. I know a lot of people agree with me that the Kirin is not a fun fight, and the Oroshi Kirin is even worse. I mean, it's such a small body. Even with a different weapon, it's so difficult to not have to hit it in the butt. I mean, yes, you can hit it in the front part. It's just a lot harder to do so because it's going to be using a lot more attacks in the front area. So you're pretty much stuck to its butt, and its butt has a ridiculously high tolerance to sharpness. So unless you have like purple sharpness or white sharpness if you're playing Generations, good luck trying not to bounce off of it.